Hi Tubies, here's Alexandra and welcome to another video. What do these miniatures all have in common? Well, they are painted by me, obviously. Yeah, that was a trick question. But I want to talk to you about the DNA of your paint job, the bread and butter of your art, your fingerprint on your miniature, the style that you are painting in. How do you develop a style? Well, this here is the very first miniature I've ever painted. It was back in the 90s when the first Warhammer 40k starter set was released, and this was one of the Goth orcs that was in this set, and I painted him following a painting tutorial on the back of one of their flyers from Games Workshop. It was just one page with 4 pictures of this miniature in gray and then in 3 different stages painted. And well, I think for my very first paint job I did a very good job. Compared to today's standard, it's definitely nothing to brag about, but it's humble to see the early beginnings of my painting career. It already has shadows in some areas and highlights, and I even tried some fancy techniques like here painting the horns in a horny-like style. Uh, Not that kind of horny, sorry. And I tried here to emulate this as an energy axe, power axe with some lightning bolts on there. I tried my hand on some freehand here with the bones, and I was really, really proud in painting him. Yeah, and those are some of my most current miniatures that I've painted, and well, I want to talk to you about a little bit of developing a painting style, because that is something I cannot teach you. It's absolutely impossible, because words alone and showing the brush strokes is not the whole deal in how you develop a painting style. What actually is a painting style? Well, it's like your business card. If you pick up a miniature, like for example this one here, um, you can clearly see how he is painted. The different highlight variants I've used with shading with washes and highlighting with paints, and how I highlighted it. And well, the same is true for this miniature here. They both use the same methods of highlighting. If you look closely at the highlight job here on the dress, and here on the cloak for the wizard, it's a little bit more obvious here with the blue tones compared to the red tones here on the camera. It doesn't really capture all the different red tones, but that's a problem of the camera, not the paint job. But nevertheless, both miniatures are clearly painted by me, because they use the same techniques. Same goes for this miniature. It follows the same techniques also here for the skin tone, and how I painted the hair on the fur or her hair itself. It's the same method I used here on the beard, for example, or on her hair. That's the same DNA. But how does this come to fruition? How does that develop? Well, that's because you have in your life different teachers. You teach yourself by experimenting with your brushes and your paints on the miniature. Then somebody tells you to do something a certain way, but the way you emulate the taught words might be completely different from what the teacher actually told you. For example, a few weeks ago, I told I taught a member of my Discord how to wet blend. I made him do this experimentation here. Use a sprue and then try to wet blend from black to white and make some edge highlights. Well, did he follow the tutorial? Well, he did it once. He did a okay job. And then I told him he should do this at least 10 times again. And what did he do? He didn't do it. Instead, he went ahead and painted swords and axes and troll armor and orc armor and all kinds of things. Because he is developing his own style. He's not following my tutorial. He just absorbed my information, mixed it with his own experiences and desires, and he thought the thing with the spruce was boring, so he didn't do it. But I actually did it a few times. Here is another one, then here is another one, and here's another one. Oh, you can't see it on camera. Here I did it several times just to prove a point. And I did it in different ways. For example, this way here, this one here, this is stippled. This one is wet blended. This one is glazed. And so on. This one is layered. So you have your different teachers. Then you watch painting tutorials on YouTube and you try to emulate them. And then you have watched 3 other tutorials before that have contrary information on them. And your brain is confused, and then you try to take your brush on the miniature, and it doesn't work that way, but you find the teacher said you should do this kind of motion. Okay, then the next teacher said you should stipple. Okay, and the third teacher said you should hold your brush this way, not that way, and make this kind of motion. And what does the student do? He's completely confused. He develops his own technique. He holds his diagonally, and then he starts swirling with the color. And hey, et voila, it works, some kind-ish. He tries it again, maybe this direction, and then he got it. He gets a nice color transition, and he has, in that way, developed his own style. See, this is something I cannot teach you. I cannot teach you how to make a French Revolution kind of Soldier of Krieg in a brownish way. I cannot teach you the difference between red versus blue here, again, in Space Marine form. You got to experience it on your own. You got to experiment, and it's just like handwriting. In the early days in school, you get taught how the letters are formed, the standard way of writing, and over time you develop your own writing. And the same is true for painting miniatures. So don't get discouraged that you don't have your own style yet. That comes over time. Your own preferences, your own way of painting, your own hardness or strength in your fingers, how you hold your brush. Some people hold the brush like a pen. Some people hold them like this. Some like this and are super cramped. I don't know how somebody can paint like this, but they do. And they do a good job at it. Normally it would be totally confusing how to paint like this, but somehow they manage, and they develop their own style with that. And so don't be discouraged. Just paint Take your brush, paint a miniature, and develop your own style. If you like this kind of content, please leave a like. Maybe subscribe, but that doesn't matter on YouTube anymore. And if you want to support me, you can leave me a super thanks. And we see us in the next video. Your Alexandra. Bye.